I'm going to show you how I customize the FMP menu. Go to Open Utility. First thing is I'm going to type in r.color.mid space 1. Then execute. That's going to brighten up my screen. Next, I'm going to go to Prestige, check the button, click that to 100 because I like to be P100 on all my characters. If I'm going to be running a killer bot, I will do auto queue and select it for killer or survivor. I don't usually run the auto bot, but if you want to, you might want to do that. The ESP style here, what I do is I remove the reds, then I remove the blues, then I click on survivor color, so my survivors on my team are green. Then I go and I add back, I don't know, let's say maybe 100 of the blues, and I click on generators, and now my generators have a bluish, sky bluish color. Maybe I want to put this on 200, set it again, give my generators a bluish color, that way hooks are in red, killers in red, and whatever. That's all I change. I just change those two things, the generator color, survivor color. That way I distinguish more clearly things on my screen. I like to put my font size at 22, and that is all I do here on this page. I do not enable risky mode. You might want to if you want those extra features. I just don't bother with it. All right, so then I go to the lightings menu, and generally speaking, I like to use this one right here called Haiti lighting. You might want to change it to whatever you want, actually. Put on whatever you want. I just tend to like this one. It looks really nice on most maps. You can put whatever you want. All right, now we go to the remap keybinds. And what I do here is instant escape doesn't seem to be working for me as of the making of this video. Maybe that's because I don't use risky mode. Maybe it would work if I did use risky mode. Either way, I don't bother with the instant escape. So I right click on my mouse and I make that empty. Push forward, I leave it caps lock. Toggle flying, I don't even mess with it. So I right click and I make that empty. And it's also because I use Q for something else. I leave the instant untrap at C. This client TP character is when, like, let's say you want to reveal ghost face or you want to look at the unknown to get that goop off your head. I actually make this the comma, which is right next to the M. You can put it on whatever you want. I just have it there. That's what I memorized it as. I hardly use this. Like I said, it really only works for ghost face or the unknown as far as I'm aware. Teleport to survivor. I like to change this to the right arrow. Jump, I like to put as V because I can easily reach it with my thumb if I need to. Teleport to killer, I leave it on G. Teleport to hex totem. I actually take this off. I right click and take that off. I don't really teleport to totems. If there is an important totem, hex that I want to put out, I just go there and put it out. I don't really need to just randomly teleport to totems. I don't find it very practical. Teleport to generator. I like to put this as up. Up as in we want to make progress going upward to the generator. Just easy for me to remember. Teleport to escape. Down. It's like we want to get out of there. We're heading on down to the escape. So that's why I have it at down. Up is the generator. Down is the escape. Teleport to hatch. I do leave it at left. So there you have teleport to generator. We're going up to make progress. Teleport to the escape. We're getting on down out of here. Teleport to the hatch to the left. Nothing to remember that by. And teleport to a survivor to the right. I believe that's what I put, right? Teleport survivor, right? Yes. Extra speed, I leave at the middle mouse button. That's when you press the middle mouse button, you get a little boost forward. Another reason why I don't find risky mode to be necessary, you can always speed boost with your middle mouse. Auto moonwalk, I put this as my thumb button. I like to moonwalk the legitimate way, per se, but sometimes I'll use the auto moonwalk. No black bards, I leave that alone. Instant sacrifice, I leave that alone. I don't even mess with this. Aimbot, I don't mess with it. Spawn trails, I don't mess with it. That's I believe it's for Pyramid Head, the executioner only. Trap immunity for Trapper, I leave that at J. Don't really use it, obviously, unless it's a Trapper, then I would use it. Autoplay, I leave it on H. The only time this becomes an issue is if I want to teleport to the killer, which is G, and I accidentally hit H and suddenly turn on my autoplay bot, and let's say all the generators are done, well you're just going to escape. Poof. So, I don't know. Do what you want with that. I don't really use it that much for it to be an issue. I don't really teleport to the killer these days very often either, so G and H, I don't use them that much. Force animation, I leave this as Y. That's for like jumping down the imaginary hatch, the animations. Regress gens, I don't even mess with that. I believe that's for killers only. I don't cheat on killers, so I don't use a lot of this stuff like auto aim, that kind of thing. I don't really mess with it. Auto skill checks, I leave that on L. I never press that. Force interaction, I just take this, I just hit the right mouse button and make this empty because I don't use it. Once again, it's something you can only use with risky mode. You might want to use it, put it at whatever you want. I really don't bother with it. I don't bother with the risky mode stuff. I don't find it to be very practical, not worth getting banned a lot faster. However, I do get banned every 1, 2, 3 days usually if I'm playing. So I probably could use risky mode and it wouldn't make that much of a difference, but I just avoid it because I don't really like to depend on it or the features. Fix movement. I actually changed this to F because it's way easier to hit. Like when you get stuck on something or you would need to, basically when you use a feature and you get stuck, you'll want to be able to unstick yourself. I find that it's harder to reach over here, not harder, but just more confusing. Not as easy to reach over, take my hand off the mouse and hit insert where I could just take my finger right off the D and move it over to the F and unstick myself all the time. Whereas also sometimes you get stuck on an object, you can just hit caps lock to try to no clip through that, which is the push forward. So between the push forward, I can hit with my pinky, the caps lock, and the F, I can hit with my pointer finger. I have both ways available right there without having to take my hand off the mouse and look at insert. That's just my little rant on why I put it on F. Remote bug hook, I just leave that as right control. I do take my hand off the mouse and hit that. A force medkit, I like to put this as Q because once again, it's right by my ring finger where I can just move it up and I can heal myself off the ground with the right medkit and the add-ons, or I can remotely heal someone else by looking at them and pressing and holding shift and pressing that. If I want to apply it to somebody else, I must hold shift with my pinky and I press Q with my ring finger and I heal the person that I'm looking at. Palette sound, right alt. I don't even think that works anymore. I leave it alone. Keybind status enabled. Okay, that stays. That's all I change right there in that. Okay, that's pretty much mostly done. Next thing I would do is go to my custom loadout and I would click enabled here. Now I would also click enable fill slots because that means in the end game, if you don't have this checked, it's not going to show you with any perks. You're going to have empty perk slots. So you definitely want to have that checked. Otherwise the killer is going to find it, or whoever, the opponent is going to find it weird that you have all these perks, but you don't have perks. So I click them both. For survivor, like I said, I don't hack on killer. I put COB and I put the Screech Cobbler for the offering just because that gives my teammates blood points. They're always happy with that. So then I click med, I type med and I put for item power. I like to use the Masquerade med kit just because it has like confetti and stuff. Then I type SUT for surgical suture. I put that here and I add that on the add-on, and I type needle, and then I pick the needle and thread as the second add-on. With these two add-ons, you will be able to heal yourself from the dying state, heal yourself, recover from the dying state with the med kit, pick yourself up. Like I said, that's the same thing. Heal yourself and heal others. Unless the killer has Franklin's and you lose your med kit, then you're in trouble. Which brings me to the perks. So I would generally use hyper focus because with hyper focus you're going to get your skill checks all great. So you come down here, type hyper, come down here, hyper focus. you're going to get all great skill checks. You're going to do gens faster. Lately, I've been using Deadline. Now, this stuff is all subject to change based on perks and what gets patched and what gets updated and what gets changed. But right now, I'm using Hyperfocus. I'm using Deadline because when you're injured, that also gives you more, I don't know, more skill checks, I believe. Something that works with Hyperfocus with your skill checks, faster gen repair. Then I use for the people, and that is because if I give someone for the people, then I get injured. So then I also I just type for, and then I go to click down to for the people, add that. So then I become injured and I become faster on gens, but also it's just one of those ways that you can pick up somebody instantly if they get down. You can help your teammates. The wiggle progress feature is no longer there, so there's a limited way you can help your teammates. It's pretty much by sabotaging a hook. Sometimes you might want to pop in there real quick and give them for the people. Also, if you are with people, you want to tell them to use Soul Guard, because if a killer gets smart and they realize they can't hook anyone because you're remotely sabotaging hooks, now they're going to slug people and they're going to stand right over them. So even if you pick them up with for the people, they're going to slug them right back down. So you might want to tell your teammates, if you're with them, if they are queued with you, to bring Soul Guard for their own benefit. And lastly, you can put any perk of your choice. If you want to be like off the radar, you can put like distortion. If you want to be like well, they're going to nerf that perk coming soon, so anyway, but I'm just saying, if you wanted to be subtle about what you're doing, not show up on auras. Another one that we used to use was buckle up, that would give the person endurance when you picked them up off the ground, but that's not a thing anymore. That was nerfed. So you could use resilience. That'll give you faster gen speed. Um, It'll also give you a little faster vaulting actions and whatnot. But lately what I've been using is simply unbreakable. And that is because when the killers do bring Franklins, or for some reason, maybe you get bugged with your med kit and you can't pick yourself up, you have that one chance with unbreakable to get yourself up from the dying state and make a comeback. If for some reason you've fall on hard times and you don't have your med kit or something's not working, sometimes if you like I said, you're going to want to use your med kit. I didn't say this, but I am saying it. You're going to want to use your med kit to pick you up from the dying state and heal yourself always. You're not really going to want to right click your mouse and use your med kit to heal. You're going to want to use the Q button that we binded earlier, the force med kit, because it'll go in increments and it'll hit great skill checks, and it'll get you up and it'll get you healed. If somebody is healing themselves and they reach like 95%, then you can't heal them. You can't get that skill check. It's just the way it works right now. You can't fully heal them. So that's another thing you might want to tell your teammates. Don't heal yourselves on the floor. Lay there, crawl somewhere so you can heal them. But like I said, sometimes you get bugged or the med kit's not working or you can't get a full heal. It's good to have unbreakable just to have that extra chance to get up if you need to. And also what you can do is you could recover yourself real quickly and then teleport to someone and they pick you up. That's what I've been running as of lately in that area. And lastly, we did lightings, we did remap keys, we did utility, we did custom layout, and now open settings. And I take off the field of view by default. It's on. I uncheck it. I like normal field of view because sometimes I do like to play legit and I don't want to have to readjust and feel like I have such an advantage with a wide field of view, and then I go to play legit and I just want, I like the normal field of view. Call me crazy, but I only like to cheat a little bit. So push boost, you might want to click that on if you're going to be running the auto gen bot. I don't, it's supposed to make you teleport away when the killer comes. It doesn't fully seem to function at all times. Sometimes the killer will grab you. Also, I've noticed lately, or since the last update, if you do get grabbed off a gen with this on, you will get bugged. So that's another thing to consider the gen bot stuff, the auto bots with H, I believe it was, is doesn't seem to be functioning that good. You can do it while you're there. Like the way I do it is, let's say I'm snacking and I'm eating something, I hit H and let the Autobot run, but I'm still watching it. I'm still in the game, but I'm like eating a snack or maybe multitasking, but I'm still paying attention. And the killer comes and I tap H again, double tap it, and it just sends me to another gen. So I would use the Autobot, but I'd also be monitoring that. I would not just leave it and go because it doesn't seem to be fully working at this state in time, at this current moment, whatever, wherever we are. It is 8:23, 2024, 1:30 a.m. These things change so much that it'll probably be irrelevant by the time you're watching this. But anyway, let me just go over this real quickly. I will put on delete for auto wiggle. That is for your own wiggle. Useful modifiers, you don't need it, but I think it lets you see your own scratch marks. That's it. Instant hatchets if you want that stuff. Aimbot, that kind of stuff. I don't use it on killer, like I said, so that's all I press. I just click delete for the auto wiggle here. That's all. Maybe K for no black bars if you want to, I don't know, if you want that look when the game starts. It's not really relevant or practical, but let's see, you might want no intro in the beginning if you want that. If you want head on and dead hard, I think this stuff is really, might only work on risky mode. I'm not sure. You can't really do the infinite head-ons anymore. Once again, this was patched, so I don't even mess with it. That's why I don't even put on head-on anymore. I think you could still do it, but you'd have to manually do it, and you could get yoinked out of the locker. Not it, the good old days are gone. What can I say? Maybe something new will come, but at this point, this is what it is. So I like to reveal survivors, reveal killer, reveal hooks so you can remotely sabotage them. I don't care about chests. It's just eye clutter. Reveal generators. I tend to leave that on. Reveal escape, reveal hatch, reveal traps, reveal vaults, reveal lockers is just an extra eyesore. For me, I take off the lockers. I don't like to see auras unless they're necessary. Reveal totems, yes. Reveal items. I used to take this off, but now, because of Franklin's and Weave Atonement and that stuff, it's not a big deal to leave it on. It's not like items are going to be scattered everywhere, so I just leave it on. Character text, I usually take this off. I don't like to really see a bunch of text on my screen. Generator text, I take it off. You might want it on if you want to see the progress of generators. Totem text I do leave on because if there's a hex, I want to know what it is. Hatch text I do leave on because I think it's easier to find the hatch. I don't know if it'll show if you don't have this on, so I leave it on, and that's pretty much it.